Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to the bizarre rise of American tipping culture. I'm from America, and I do know about tipping culture, but I feel like it's not mandatory. Like, it's the law. It's not the law. It's not the law, and I feel like it's required, like highly recommended to tip, but I feel like if you don't tip, it's not illegal. So, if you give good service, then you deserve a tip, but I feel like if you're not doing your job that well, then you shouldn't expect a good tip. But I don't know what he's gonna talk about. So let me stop talking and let's see what he's gonna say. And please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below.
Morning, welcome back. Before I start, let me just say, you look nice today. Your face looks clean, your hair or your bald head looks shiny and smooth. You should use a new shampoo. Well, whatever the case, congrats on being you. Oh, and by the way, this is just gonna ask you a quick question.
Tip.
Wait, 0 times 0 is still 0. Well, other than realizing I'm bad at math, have you noticed that tipping culture has turned into a huge point of contention, especially in America? Go to any comment section where the topic is about tipping, and it's a full-on battle royale with typos. Some blame inflation, some call it tipflation, I call it nobody knows what the heck is going on and we need a rule book so everyone's on the same page. How exactly are we supposed to know anything if there's no manual to learn from? I already checked the library and Amazon. Someone please let me know when you find it. A lot of people are living life on a budget these days. We're all just trying our best to min-max our spendings.
Oh, side note, I currently live in Korea, so we don't tip here. But yeah, when I visited America, it was like the first time I had to like tip. So I was like, how much do I tip? But like when I take when I took Uber, I gave them a tip, like I guess the highest choice of tipping on the app. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I tipped them. But like restaurants and stuff, I didn't know how much to tip because I usually don't tip.
I mean, who
Because I don't
doesn't
live
want
in
to look
America.
good and still be able to afford to buy nice things? As I'm sure you've noticed, Anna Louisa
Okay,
is my
so this
go-to
is an
for high-quality
ad.
jewelry with
If
some
you
of the most
wanna
unique designs
support
I've
him, go
seen
to his
from the brand.
page.
You can
I'm gonna
feel
skip
and
it.
look good while wearing any and a quick scan of what people have to say. Then I'll try to formulate my own opinion. There's a lot that I didn't know about tipping culture and where it actually came from. This was too much for me to absorb. I'm even more conflicted and confused than when I first started. Just so you know, this video is going to be a lot of, I see your point, but I also see both sides, and the other side of the coin, 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 and the other side of the coin.
Several days later.
Oh, and the other side of the coin. Oh, turns out it's actually not a coin with two sides. But
Yeah, I feel like people tip so much in America that I guess people expect to be tipped, but I feel like it's not the law. Like you don't have to tip. If you don't tip, like you're not gonna go to jail. But yeah, I guess like for waiters and stuff, like they get paid like I don't know how much, $2 an hour, so they rely on the tips. But on the other side of that, you chose that job, so you could work somewhere else that doesn't require tips to make your money. So I see both sides, like he said, but yeah, I guess it's just up to the person if they want to tip or not.
one of those freakish looking 120-sided dice. That's the beauty of the internet. There's an endless supply of people
How do
you
you
can
even
fight with. But if you are
land
gonna
on
fight each
one
other in
number?
the comments, please do it in a nice way. No yelling and turn off your caps lock. Tipping is defined as a small present of money given directly to someone for performing a service. As with most gifts given to someone, they're not mandatory unless you did something bad, like accidentally hit the neighbor.
Oh, but if you were gonna get tip, um, I'd rather prefer personal tips and not like the group tips. Like you put the tips in the jar and then everyone splits it at the end of the day. Because I feel like some workers are better than other workers, so not everyone deserves the same amount. So the personal tips are the best, I think, if one was to tip or get tips.
Neighbor's grandma with your car. I don't know. What started off as a 10% tip to show someone you appreciate the service they just provided you for an hour and a half, slowly started to creep up over the years and in places where you never had to tip decades ago.
Oh, what a cute Shiba. Can I pet him?
Boy.
Oh, thanks. Bye.
Well, those tips better be going to that dog's 401k. I guess it's tough, being unemployed, tired, and hungry all the time. From what I've seen on the internet, you'll typically fall into one of two camps or lean towards one side more than the other. These two guys were picking up food and they couldn't agree whether or not you should tip on an order you picked up yourself.
So we just picked up Thai food, okay? Now Frankie's mad at me because we picked it up.
Dude, you're broke ass.
So
Can't
you
tip
don't
people.
tip on you don't when you pick up food you don't tip, okay?
Dude, I don't care. I've been going to that restaurant twice a week for the last 10 years, and I always tip on pickup.
So it was like 80 some bucks.
Wait, is this fake? Because if the guy's so upset about tipping, then why didn't that guy tip himself? Like, I don't understand. If he's so pressed about tipping, he could have tipped himself. Like, I don't understand.
He's like, give me 10 bucks.
Yeah.
I'm not giving 10 bucks
No,
on.
I always
What
give
did
them a
they
nice
do?
tip
What did
because
what did
they
they do?
know my name. If someone has the
Then
decency to remember
you
my
could have
name at a
tipped by
restaurant,
yourself.
I always tip.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, I won't tip whenever I pick up any food ever.
Yeah, because
me.
you're dead.
I'm a
Yeah.
Like, he's so upset that he couldn't.
This day and age,
Okay, before I was interrupted by the commercial, if he's that pressed about tipping, he could have tipped himself. Like, it's not that serious. Like, why is he so booty hurt?
it is common decency to tip someone when they provide you with really good or really great service. The most popular number I've seen is at least 15% is the minimum when you go to eat at a restaurant. But for picking up food yourself, it's a little gray there. Everyone's standards are different. If you have the money to tip, then go wild. It's kind of weird making someone feel
Yeah, also, that's another reason, another point about tipping. Like, if you have the money to tip, then tip if you want to. But what if you live paycheck to paycheck and you just wanted to treat yourself to a nice meal? Like, you hadn't had one in a long time, but you don't have enough money for the meal, but you don't have enough money to tip. Does that make you look like a bad person, or are you just trying to live your life? Like, I don't know. There's so many sides to the story.
bad for not tipping, especially when that thing
Oh,
technically
no.
isn't someone servicing you. But
Just tip
someone
if you
just
wanna
doing their
tip.
job. You could argue, well, they are cooking
And tip more if the
packaging
service
food
was
in a
great.
nice container so you can have a meal at home. That's a service. I see your point. But if we're going to start advocating for everyone that works in the service industry to get tipped when the option presents itself, then shouldn't we be tipping literally everyone that provides a service? Going to the dentist and having the hygienist scrape off the plaque on your teeth, isn't that technically a service? I've never actually tried slipping my dentist at 20 before, but I'll try it next time and let you know how it goes. Maybe you'll sneak me
I
a
think it's
free
because they
vinegar
make a
if
lot of
he's in
money,
there.
so people are
There's
like,
also
they
the
don't need a
level of
tip.
importance for the specific service you're getting. You could say that the surgeon that successfully did your open heart surgery has a more important job than the barista that makes your coffee every day.
All right, just one last question for you before
Yeah.
we start your procedure.
I do no tip. I mean,
No tip?
Yeah, no tip.
All right, your chances of losing your eyesight have just gone up exponentially.
What was that?
Oh, my hands are a little shaky, so
And
Can you
also,
put 30%?
30%.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not.
are you supposed to feel offended if no one wants to tip?
If I ever go plastic surgery, I'm definitely tipping my surgeon. I'm paranoid they're gonna live stream my surgery to their audience on TikTok. True story, by the way, which will be another video topic. The thing is, the services that I mentioned do make enough money so they don't have to rely on tips. Whereas restaurants, customer service, and hospitality jobs, those tend to be the most common places where people give gratuity. Nowadays, when you actively decide not to tip when presented with the option at a place where you never had to tip before, the person standing behind the counter will silently judge you, while those blue squares on that dreaded iPad stare directly
Okay,
into
well,
your soul.
if they
We all
judge
know
you, then
technology is
they can
gonna
judge
take
in
over the human
silence.
race someday. I think that time's gonna come when the self-checkout machines at grocery stores start asking for tips. Just watch. I'm sorry, but if I did more work than you, you're not getting a tip. I do ask for tips, but obviously I don't expect any because I understand the nature of a self-serve restaurant. I wouldn't tip me either, guys. It's okay. Some businesses just have this in place.
Like, I understand tipping at a restaurant because they're like cleaning the tables and like bringing you your food, taking the orders, all that stuff. But like a yogurt shop, you have to tip at a yogurt shop because they put yogurt in a cup. Like, I don't know. I feel like a restaurant worker deserves a tip more than a yogurt shop employee. I don't know, but that's just me.
place is the standard, and it's not always up to the employees to decide whether they want to ask or not. There's also a bit of sketchiness with establishments taking the tips first, doing some calculations, and then distributing the rest among the staff. Do we actually know how much of the tips we gave to the servers that worked for it are actually going to them? You'd think it'd be 100%, but some of these businesses will take the tips and use it to cover employee benefits or other things the business should pay for. A restaurant in BC actually had a fee called employee health benefits baked directly into their customer's bill, which caused a lot of confusion since when was this a thing? Of course we want everyone to have access to healthcare, and the fee is only a few dollars, but why is that responsibility placed onto someone that just wanted to eat a burger outside? Sometimes tipping
Yeah.
does seem like a way for
Like, why is
employers
it
to pay their employees less
included
while getting someone else to pick
and
up
not
the
an
slack,
option?
especially with servers that work in the States. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the US is the only country that pays servers $3 to $5 an hour, while the customer's tips cover the rest of their wage. Do we know why this business model still exists? I know in Canada, you get paid at least a minimum wage plus your tips. It's almost as if these rich businesses are pitting civilians against each other so they don't realize who the real enemy is. But it's not like every local ice cream store is a corrupt business.
Yeah, but same thing with that. Like, they charge or they get paid like $2 an hour, 213 according to that. But on one side, the employer can pay them more, but on the other side, like, they chose to work there, so they know what they're getting into. So if they don't want to rely on tips, they can just get another job.
It's just that so many places have the option to tip now.
Two sides to every
it's kind
story.
of making people very aggressive when they ask for one, where it almost feels like they're guilt tripping you into tipping when you normally wouldn't in the first place.
So I go to Ben and Jerry's yesterday, and I just wanted a cone. Just wanted a nice fresh
Oh,
long
yeah.
cone. So I walked
If someone's making you feel guilty or like pressured to tip, or if you tip and they're like giving you attitude like it's not enough, I would take my money back.
over the counter, and I was like, "Hi, can I
No,
just have a
no,
waffle
thank
cone?"
you.
And she was like, "Yeah, sure. Here you go. That'll be $2." So I was like, "Okay." I go to put my card in, and of course the tipping screen comes up, and I was like, I didn't say this out loud, but in my head I was like, "I'm not tipping you on a cone. You literally
Yep,
just handed me a
I would do
cone."
the same.
And I'm also like, the percentages were insane. I was like, I'm not tipping you $1 on a $2 cone that you just handed me. I'm not. So she hands me my cone. I put my card in. It gives me like, how much do you want to tip? I hit no tip, and the cashier goes to my
Mm-mm.
face.
And if they did that to me, I'll be more than happy that I didn't tip, because if you're expecting it or if you have an attitude about it, like you don't deserve
To
one.
my actual face. Like, on no planet is that ever appropriate. Even if I got $100 worth of ice cream and I don't tip you, you can't
Yeah, like,
to the customer.
rude.
On top of that, Miss Girl, what were you expecting I tipped you to hand me a cone? There wasn't even a service being exchanged. It was an exchange. It was a transaction. It wasn't even an act of service.
Yikes. Everyone with social anxiety is just gonna DoorDash ice cream cones to their house from now on. She is right though, not every customer service job is weighted the same. There is a difference between a transactional service, where it's just someone doing the job they sign up to do while being paid at least a minimum wage, than say a server in Texas that waited on your table for an hour while being paid $2 an hour.
I'm sorry to say this, but tipping culture has gotten out of control. And I just want to preface this by saying that I always tip 20% like standards. I went to this like local like little, it's like a burger and fry place, kind of like the local version of McDonald's. So like chicken tenders and fries, right? I get up to the pay window and she's like, "How much do you want to tip?" And I'm just like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, did you want to leave a tip?" And she's like pointing to them. And I was like, "Oh no, not today." And then I just felt really uncomfortable.
Wait, what? Like, you don't even have to tip at McDonald's. Like, why would this fast food restaurant ask for tips? I guess every place is different, but also, isn't it rude to ask people for tips? Like, it sounds like begging for money. Like, "Oh, are you gonna tip?" Like, you wouldn't beg for money in like your actual life, but when it's linked to a job, that's when you want to ask for money. Like, I know, like, if the job has a tip, then you can tip, but like asking the person, "Oh, do you want a tip?" That's kind of awkward.
But like, homegirl, what am I gonna tip you for? I'm in the drive-thru. Oh my god.
At this point, we're not even sure what service actually needs a tip anymore. Things have become so messy, everyone's now an iPad kid terrorizing the general public. The shame we feel when we decide not to tip is causing a lot of tip fatigue. Everyone's tipping less and aren't wanting to go out to spend their money because there's always a chance of an awkward stare down at the register.
What are your thoughts on tipping culture in Canada?
Tipping culture in Canada. If you can't afford to tip, don't go out.
You know what? That's a really good way to look at it.
No.
Yes, I mean, I'm a bartender, so it's.
Okay, yeah.
I need to put food on the table. You know what I mean?
But
Okay, so other people need to put food on their table too. So if they don't have enough money to tip, then they're not allowed to go out. Like, I don't understand.
if no one goes out, how's the bar gonna pay you for working?
Is your same thought when it comes to tipping at fast food restaurants, at a coffee shop?
You know what? I still, just because I don't want to be a hypocrite, I'm still going to tip, not generously, but I'm still going to tip 10-15%.
And you've noticed the kind of automatic 18, 20, 25%.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like 50% pretty soon. Then everybody will be broke. It's a communal recession, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll all be broke together.
Not sure about this take and what this guy was trying to say, but tipping will never be a black and white issue. It'll always depend on the situation itself and the culture you live in. The practice of tipping actually came from wealthy Americans in the 1850s and 1860s. They actually saw this tradition while on vacation in Europe, and wanting to seem aristocratic, these individuals began tipping in the United States upon their return. Which is funny because most Europeans don't really believe in tipping anymore. While the US did a speed run of how many businesses can we get to start asking for tips, iPad first. Some cultures don't even expect tips, and if you do tip them, it can be seen as offensive.
A few months ago, Starbucks added digital tipping. So every time you pay with your credit card, you are asked, do you want a tip?
I was gonna ask you a quick question.
This made many Americans furious. But what happens in other
Why are you furious? Just click no tips if you don't want to tip. I don't understand people. Like, if you want to tip, then tip. If you don't want to tip, then don't tip. But why are you mad that it's asking you if you want to tip? Like, if it's a machine, it's fine, but like, the person, if the person's asking you, I can see why you get mad. Like, face to face, kind of awkward. But if it's the machine, just press no thanks, and then move along. Like, I don't understand. The machine is asking you if you don't want to tip, just click no tip. Like, is it that hard?
countries? I know that tipping
You're
is
mad
not
because
done in
the
Japan,
machine
but I'm
asking
kinda
you?
Curious what would happen if I tried to tip at a Starbucks, because Starbucks is an American company.
Thank you.
And do you have a tip jar?
No.
Do you have that jar anywhere?
Yeah, no.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. So I just Googled it, and yeah, tipping is not only not customary here, but it can actually offend someone. I almost
Yeah.
feel like I should go apologize.
This chart shows the tipping culture in different countries. The blues and purples meaning no tips or tips are
America's like
unexpected,
red.
and if you've noticed, the 15 to 20% expected tip is mostly a North American thing. There's also this thing where places will ask for tips before your service, most notably food delivery services like DoorDash or Uber Eats, which is weird because doesn't that defeat the purpose of a tip? I know I can't look into the future to see if my delivery driver delivered my food or not. Some people say it's more of a prevention type of thing, so the
Yeah, but like, for me, like, taking Uber, I tip because I feel like they went out of their way to pick you up and then whatever. But even food delivery, I feel like I would tip. I haven't done food delivery in America, but I feel like I would tip because they like went to get your food, they brought it to you, like they're going out of the way to do something for you. But that's just me. But other people, they might not want to tip, and that's fine. I'm not gonna hate someone because they don't want to tip. Like, you do what you want to do, and not tipping is not illegal, so I don't care. If you want to tip, tip. If you don't want to tip, I don't care.
before delivering your food.
This DoorDash customer only tipped $1. Let's see what he got at Arby's, huh? Well, it's got the beef and cheddar.
Look.
It's got the French dip and the crinkle fries. Oh man, that's my favorite.
People doing this, they're just exposing themselves, the kind of person they are. So, congratulations.
Thank you, $1 tipper. Peace.
But I don't know if this is real or
Tastes
not.
like uploading evidence on the internet so your employer can see. Do
Mhm.
people automatically think they're in a reality
People
show
don't
when they
think
get a phone with a camera?
when they're being
it's not
dumb.
everyone, but some people are getting entitled when they do expect tips. It does suck if you did
But
get
I don't know if
really
that
good
video was
service
real
and
or
the
not.
tip line says 0, but taking it out on the customer isn't the best way to go about the situation. There's a clip that surfaced recently of a DoorDasher that didn't think he got a big enough tip. Also,
Oh, I think I saw this, but I don't know what he's
you're
gonna
a
show.
home security system.
Oh, yeah, I think it was this. See, if I saw this video before, if they did this, I would find a way to retract the tip because you don't deserve it at that point. But for me, I would have tipped, but I don't know how much I would have tipped. A tip is a tip, so you get what you get. But yeah, if I tipped him something and he didn't appreciate it, then I would find a way to take that back.
Hello.
Aw, a dog.
They need to train that dog not to go up on strangers, even though it's nice.
Thank you.
I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
Take that tip back.
This lady left a $5 tip on a $20 pizza. Isn't that like a 25% tip? That's pretty generous. Unless he was driving 100 through a school zone so he could deliver her food in 5 minutes, I have a feeling this was just a standard DoorDash delivery. But who knows what he did to think he deserved a bigger tip. All I know is that he didn't even pet the dog. My god, my head hurts. This will be an ongoing battle until we decide what services actually need tipping, or we just get rid of it altogether and have the companies pay their employees livable wages. Personally, I like it when things are simple. Whatever the price is, that's what you pay. It just makes everything easier so you're not passive-aggressively staring at each other, and hopefully as a result, employees are actually getting paid a regular wage instead of the $2 whatever servers make. Other countries are doing it. Not really sure why we are.
It's
Then
almost
again,
done.
it could be a reason why. I'm not the most knowledgeable person on this topic. I didn't study economy or graphs or math related things, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I just wanted to talk about this topic because it was interesting. I'm probably just gonna follow the tipping customs based on what country I live in to a certain extent. I did decide that I'm probably not gonna tip my dentist. I don't want to make things awkward. The dentist community gossiping about me? No thank you. Maybe I should start asking for a tip from this guy that lives in my house rent free. He doesn't even pick up his own poop. And don't forget to tip the YouTube algorithm with a like, because
Okay, this video's basically finished. But yeah, if you feel like someone deserves a tip, then tip them. And if you don't feel like someone deserves a tip, then don't tip them. I don't think it's that hard. And tip them as much as you want to tip them. If they don't appreciate it, then take your money back or never go there again, or never tip them again. But yeah, for me, I guess it depends on the situation if I would tip. But I don't know. Some people hate people that don't tip, but I was like, I don't really care. Like, you do what you want to do with your money. Hello, it's your money. So you can tip if you want to tip. But anyway, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel, SEKSHI. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.